Hello there, folks. It's Nerdy John here, and today I have a versus battle for you. Today we will be pinging the ultimate life form, Cars, from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, against the perfect life form, Cell, from Dragon Ball Z. This will certainly be an interesting debate. And please note, guys, this isn't supposed to be anything too serious. I just thought it would be a fun little fight I thought up about. So, yeah, let's begin. Now, let's start out with Ultimate Cars. Now, in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, what it means to be the ultimate life form is that you are everything, basically. Cars can turn into whatever he wants, and his IQ is increased. Basically, I'll give you an example that he does in the series. He can turn his hand into a flower, and then turn it into a squirrel, and then have the squirrel detach from him, run up and attack someone, and then he can regrow his hand. So Cars has immense regenerative abilities, and he can manipulate his body into anything he wants. Theoretically, he could make another Ultimate Cars if he wanted to. Like, out of his, I don't know, leg, arm, just pop up another Ultimate Cars, and then you have two cars to worry about. Of course, that's only speculation because we never seen him do that. But potentially, he could do that. Thanks to being the ultimate life form, like I said, he can turn into anything he wants. That means he can turn his arms into wings and then fly. And he can turn the feathers that he can shoot out feathers and then have them turn into something else to attack his enemies. Potentially this is a very broken attack, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but in order to attack Joseph, he flies up and turns the feathers into piranhas. Again, I could be remembering that wrong, but still, that is a broken ability to have. But the problem is, though, he doesn't really have mobility. You see, Cell can fly as well, but he doesn't need to use his body parts. He uses ki, which means he's possibly more mobile than Cars could ever be in the air. Also, Cars has super sharp bone blades that can cut steel, bullets in the air. He can basically cut almost anything he wants because they're like super sharp razor teeth like objects that go around the blade like a chainsaw, and that's what makes it super effective as a weapon. Now, this won't be that useful against Cell, and we'll discuss that later on. Now, one of the things Cars was able to do was learn Ripple, which in the JoJo universe is sun energy, for lack of better terms, that humans use to fight the undead creatures. Now, because of Cars becoming the ultimate life form, it was almost useless against him because he was able to counteract it. And not only that, he was able to learn the ripple effect, and he amplified it to a great amount. Like, normally when a human user ripple fights against another human, it stings at most, or hurts them a little bit, Kars was able to use the ripple effect to melt Joseph's knee. That's how intense he was able to make the hormone. And Joseph is a normal human, but he's a human at peak condition, and the hormone gives him a little bit of extra strength. Still, though, that's nothing compared to what Cell has dealt with. Now, let's move on to Cell to see what his abilities are. Now, to get this right off the bat, Cell is a confirmed solar system buster, meaning that if he used all of his energy, he could destroy an entire solar system. And that's something to be very worried about, especially with Kars. The most powerful person he had to deal with was Joseph, who at best would probably be would be a wall buster. Now, I'm not a power scaler by any means, so I could be severely wrong with these stats. But from my general understanding, that's how it is. That doesn't mean that Kars is weak by any means. In fact, Joseph wasn't able to beat him by using sheer strength. He had to outsmart Kars and place him in a situation that he just couldn't get out of. Now, what's important to know about Cell is that he has the cells of, at that time, Dragon Ball Z's strongest fighters. He had the cells of Frieza, King Cole, Vegeta, Goku, and Piccolo. Those are the main ones. He also has cells from the human Z fighters like Tien and Krillin. This basically means that he gets Piccolo's regeneration abilities, Frieza and King Cole's abilities to survive in space, and Goku's and Vegeta's Zenkai boost. Now, a Zenkai boost is when a Saiyan on the brink of death survives and gets a massive increase of strength, usually enough strength to defeat the person who put them on the brink of death in the first place. Now, when Cell regenerates, he needs to use not a substantial but a good amount of ki energy to regrow the limbs. But just so you guys know, Cell blew himself up during his fight with the Z fighters. He came back. You want to know how? He survived as a nucleus. A nucleus. So he regenerated from that and became substantially stronger thanks to the Zenkai boost. In order to stop him, Gohan needed to use all of his energy and the help of the other Z fighters to destroy him molecule by molecule. That is a pretty substantial regeneration ability there. But like I said, if you're able to destroy every molecule in his body, you are able to kill him. I don't know of any other way there is to defeat him. So, because that's really the only way they were able to. But at this point, I'm kind of rambling. On to some of Cell's abilities. Now, Cell's abilities are basically whatever the genetic makeup of his donators are. What what I'm trying to say is he can use Frieza's Death Beam, uh, Vegeta's Gallic Gun, Goku's instant transmission after he comes back after he explodes. He can also use Goku's Kamehameha, and it's hinted at that he can also use a Spirit Bomb. And he may also be able to use Kaioken, but I don't think that's directly confirmed. He can use Piccolo's, as mentioned, regeneration abilities and special beam cannon. And let's see. I think that's... Oh, wait. I also forgot to mention. He can also use something called a solar flare, which basically allows him to temporarily blind his opponents. Now, the moment you all been waiting for. The fight shall begin. Now, I believe that unless some really specific events happen, I think Cars would most likely lose this battle. Don't get me wrong, he has some very cool abilities, but in terms of just sheer power, I think Cell outclasses him. He could do some damage to him with his blades, and the ripple effect would do even more damage to Cell, but that wouldn't eradicate him molecule by molecule. It just really couldn't. And let me tell you the really specific scenario where I think Cars would probably win. Now, starting off the fight, they would be pretty equal. Just doing blow to blow, no ki, no other special abilities involved. Because I believe they're pretty much even in terms of speed. And as far as a warm-up would go, Cell would take it easy, so to measure to see where Cars is at. And Cars would probably try to analyze Cell, see what he could do. Because Cell is an android, but he's a biomechanical android. So, for all intensive purposes, he is a life form. So, I think Cars would try to copy Cell. And who knows? Remember, this is just all speculation. Maybe later on in the fight, Cars would sense the pressure from Cell's ki. And in some way, shape, or form, Cars learns ki. And during the fight, he adapts to it and learns how to use it. And like I said, since he was able to amplify the ripple, it makes sense that he would probably be able to amplify ki. So he could probably do a really strong ki blast to finish off Cell, and then that would be the end of the fight. He would be able to destroy Cell. But like I said, that's a real specific scenario, one which may never play out, because, these guys aren't exactly in the same universe, so, who's to say if this fight were to ever actually happen, maybe this stuff doesn't happen at all. But yeah, like I said, unless a real specific scenario plays out, I think ultimately Cell would win. However, Cars would definitely give him a run for his money. Because Cars would probably wear down Cell a lot. But like I keep restating, Cars really doesn't have a way to destroy Cell entirely. Not unless he can think of a real specific way in defeating him. This is Nerdy signing out. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'm also going to be doing a Ultimate Cars versus Alex Mercer video, so expect that shortly. Like I said, this is Nerdy signing out. Have a good day, everyone.